We're the Con Guys, and this is the Con Guys Show, coming to you straight from the nerdy heart of Hollywood, California.
Hey, this is Jim with theconguy.com.
She's been here with theconguy.com.
Katie here, aka the Con Girl.
Zordon did not want 5 teenagers with attitude.
My name is Derek Sam.
I'm Danae Sams, and that's my brother.
We are your home for news, opinions, and interviews from the world of Comic-Cons and fandoms. Your ultimate insiders for all things Con!
2023, we are coming at you. Welcome, everyone, to our very first episode of the Con Guy Show, live for 2023, where we as filmmakers discuss the world of fandoms, films, and Comic-Cons. We are heading
toward people. Anything can happen.
I know, isn't it bizarre? You know what's weird? Here's what's weird. We are about to, in about 2 months, hit our 7-year anniversary, our 7th anniversary of the Con Guy Show, which is just blows me away to think that we started this thing 7 years ago. And most of you, Danae's fairly new. Ben's about 2/3 of the way through. Katie's been kind of on and off for a while. But you've been close to the beginning, Katie. And Derek, I know you were there on day one. We will have a special anniversary show. I don't know what that'll be. But anyways, I'm so glad that we have made it this far. And I just want to thank everyone who is watching, everybody who tunes in, everybody who listens. Thank you. We personally want to thank everyone who came along for the ride so far, and we hope the ride just gets better. My name is Jim Fry. You can find me at James D. Fry on Instagram. I am one of your hosts of the show, the editor of the site. And let me go ahead and pitch it over to my left and see who else we have with us today.
It is Katie. You can find me on all socials at the handle on the screen at Katie Christine. Finally getting the hang of where this is at on the screen after how many years have been doing this. And yeah, excited to talk about some very nerdy stuff that's happening this year. Mm-hmm. And it's been a while, I feel like, since we've had a show all together. So
it has been a while. It's been since the Con Girls did a cool Stranger Things Experience, Titanic Experience show right before the holidays. Or was that before the holidays?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or right after.
Right after.
It was like 2 weeks ago, I think.
It was before Christmas, but I couldn't make it to that one.
Yeah. So it was
just you and Em.
But you were in all the pictures, Danae.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Ben Cleaver.
Hey, everybody. It's me, old buddy Ben Cleaver. You can find me on all social media at BENKLIEWER, or you can search the hashtag BK421. I'm on the Twitters sometimes, and Instagram and TikTok, and I need to post more. I'm going to do that. That's a New Year's resolution. I'm going to post more on social media. That's what I'm going to do. And yeah, man, I was just going to ask Jim, how many years have I been on this show? Like,
you came on fairly early because the cool story about way at the beginning, me and Luke came and found you at a con and we're like, hey, you want to come on a show with us? Sure. Hey, we're not letting you go.
Well, I feel like it was either at San Diego or Anaheim. We had that conversation. I can't remember. I think it was Anaheim.
Yeah, I agree.
And that had to have been 16 or 17, I want to say. Because I know I was already with my wife. I mean, we were dating at the time, but because Brianna and I were together when we ran into you and Luke, and I was like, what are you guys doing here? And you're like, we're doing stuff for our show on our website. And I was like, you have a show and a website? And then you were like, yeah, come on. And they were secretly planning to kidnap me for life.
That is true.
All right, cool. Ben, all I can say is you've been an invaluable part. Is that how you say it? Invaluable? Unvaluable? So. How about priceless? A priceless part of the show, as everybody has here. Right below Ben, we have our newest con folk.
What is up, everybody? I'm Danae. I am half of the Samblings, half of the Con Girl. I almost had it. Yeah, I was just gonna say I was a guest, I guess you could say, on the Con Guy in 2015 before my first Comic-Con, which is where I met most of you guys. Jim, I think I knew you right before that. But then I met you and Bree at that Con Guy show. Sorry, I have chicken pot pie in my throat. So it's been at least since 2015 that you've been around, because I remember meeting you guys there. And then I met Katie at Nerd HQ at that Comic-Con, and I loaned her my Batman external charger, and we've been buds ever since.
I didn't remember that. Okay, all right. I just remember waiting in line.
You don't remember when we met?
I remember that we met at Comic-Con and that we stayed camped out in line together. That's
okay. We did camp out in line together, but before that, I met you at Nerd HQ right after Derek and I played a Nerf gun game, and you needed a charger, and I was like, "Oh, here!" And you thought it was really cool. I'm gonna need.
Let's be real. If it involved Nerd HQ and Zachary Levi, I probably don't remember anything else but that. No.
How dare you!
All right, let's pass it off to the other Sambling.
Yeah, my connection's not been great, so hopefully I can actually talk without it just freezing in my screen going blank. But yeah, I'm Derek. I'm the other half of the Samblings, a founding member of the Con Guy podcast. I was here with Luke and Jim from the very beginning. And I think it was about the time the show started. I also started my relationship with my now wife. So that was an exciting time, the whole nerd relationship developing. What else were you guys saying? Because I was like gone. I didn't have any connection for the first few minutes of these introductions.
We were just talking crap about you, but you know.
Oh, okay. I didn't know I was supposed to say something else.
But by the way, Derek, you had something. We all have had it, and we're going to go into it real quick here. But like, we're going to talk about our favorite things from 2022. But you're sitting in probably one of the coolest things from 2022.
Yeah, well, that's
that
not
chair.
just the Falcon behind me. Oh, hang on. Whoa. There. Oh, yeah. See, we're still unpacking, but there. Finally got that Lego Millennium Falcon back out and did a little bit more on it. It's very hard to show it to you.
Derek, I'm not talking about the Millennium Falcon.
You're not talking about Lego? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the house. You bought a new house, dude.
That's right. We're in a house. We moved from an apartment to
only Derek. We can say, Derek, the coolest thing that you're from last year. Ooh, Lego Millennium Falcon when he bought a freaking house.
Yeah.
Hey, let's say hello to some folks real quick. Hello, Lily. Always good to see you, Lily. Happy New Year to you. Andy Harrell, good to see you, my friend. And thank you for the 7 years. And guess who else we have? Mr. Ryan Nilsson, home with strep throat.
What up, Ryan?
Rain, congrats. And Ryan has been there for much of the Con Guy show as well. He was the producer for many years, but now he's producing on some much bigger stuff these days. We don't talk about it because it's all top secret. So anyways, Luke will be joining us shortly. But I do want to say that thank you guys again for sticking with us. Before we do anything, just remember, let's be nice to each other, because let's say I encourage everyone to say a prayer and good thoughts for Jeremy Renner, somebody in our con community who got really badly injured, over the Christmas break. So he got ran over by his own snowplow while he's out in the snow. So he's he's stable but critical condition. So Jeremy, we are praying for you. All right, guys. Oh, who else do we have joining us today?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy holidays, happy New Year's. Well, happy holidays last year, but happy New Year, everybody. Cheeseman here, one of the founding members of the Con Guy. And yeah, excited to see everybody. We haven't seen each other face to face this year, but this is the closest we've gotten so far. But we will.
I've seen one person face to face this year of this group.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, because I was over, I think, New Year's Eve.
Oh, yeah. You were there after midnight.
Yeah.
You did stay till after midnight. So technically we did see each other this year.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, Ben, I came to your New Year's part. No, I didn't.
No.
I came to your.
You came to our Halloween party.
Halloween. Is that the one I'm thinking of?
Yeah. Because we only had like 3 people come over, or 4 people come over on New Year's Eve.
Okay. Yeah.
It was Katie, Emily, and then 2 other friends came over.
So Derek, are you you just commented that we started in 2016. So we are about to hit our 7th anniversary, right? Mm-hmm. Am I counting wrong?
Yes. Sorry, you're right. We've done like a full 6 years, but we're coming up on the 7th anniversary. What month did we start in? Was it March or May?
Our very first our very first show was about WonderCon.
Okay.
Preview of WonderCon in March, early March.
Would have
And
been
then I think
2016.
16, yeah.
I think I
Okay.
came on in like 2018 or 2019.
So that means we will hit 7th anniversary, which means we are currently in our 7th year. Is that what it is? Yeah, we are. We
So
haven't
we're
done
in our 6th year, and when we
Okay.
finish it, when we get to March, it will have been 7 years since.
Okay. Well, that makes
Math
sense.
is hard, you guys.
I'm not really good at it. Hey guys, this week we are going to preview our most anticipated fandom events of 2023, but not before we do a real quick throwback of some of our favorite stuff of 2022. And we'll also be looking closely at some of the conventions coming up quick, such as, we'll just mention them: Long Beach, Gallifrey, WonderCon. We got some biggies coming up here in the first few months of the year. But what we'd like to do first is we're going to look back at some of our favorite moments, some of the cool stuff from 2022. And let's please avoid anything about a slap at the Oscars, anything about Depp and Amber Heard. Nothing like that. We're tired of that. No more of
Sounds
that.
like you're mentioning it
Happy
right now,
thoughts.
Jim.
Happy
Yes,
things.
Lord.
I'm mentioning it so we
Okay.
can lance that boil. Get rid of it. All right.
However,
This is
Jim,
The
I
other things do not want to mention, Jim.
I saw a great cosplay that was a guy dressed as Mira with a poop emoji hat on his head, and it was amazing.
All right. So, although I love that. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and see who wants to start first. Let's talk about last year, and we're not going to talk about it for a long time, but last year was a big year, even though we were kind of at the waning days of the severity of the pandemic. We're still in some safety measures now. You know, I think we will be forever. That's not to be negative. It's just like there's a new normal that we're accepting now. But last year, let's go ahead and start with Katie. Katie, I would love to know what was a highlight or two, or some of your favorite stuff from last year.
The biggest thing I wrote down was the return of conventions at a full, like pretty much all of them came back last year. So obviously that's half of what our show was about and half of what we all do and how we bond. It was nice that we finally got to go back to WonderCon. We finally got to go back to Comic-Con. One of the best moments is, I'm sure someone's going to mention it, we had an awesome panel at WonderCon with surprise guest. That was, I think, probably the epitome of our panels so far. Which I don't know if there's video. Do you guys have video from that moment?
We do. Luke's actually edited together. You're talking about WonderCon or Comic-Con, because they were both pretty spectacular events. The WonderCon one was, we did that video's up.
Yeah. Was it WonderCon or Comic-Con that? What? Oh, was Comic-Con the surprise one?
Oh yeah, you're talking. About
Comic-Con, not WonderCon.
You're talking about Mr. Walter.
Yes.
One of the original Power Rangers came running in down the aisle in the middle of the. That was pretty amazing.
Yeah, so that was a really cool moment. And then we're watching it right before the show started, but Wednesday came out last year. We're just now finishing it. We haven't finished it yet, so please don't spoil it if you finished it. But great. Loving it. It is just everything I like in a TV show. But I did want to share, obviously it being Tim Burton, there's just so much loveliness about it. But another thing is it is designed by Colleen Atwood, aka one of my favorite costume designers. And I wanted to mention that Gwendolyn Christie, who plays, I forget the name of her character, but she's in the show, and she told EW in an interview that it was the first time she felt beautiful on screen. She said, "I cannot express my extreme gratitude more heartily to Tim and Colleen and our hair and makeup team. Colleen Atwood is rightfully a legend, and what she does is close to witchcraft in terms of transformation. It is an honor of my life to work with Colleen and to work with Tim, and she made me feel incredible. She was also enormously collaborative." And I just thought that was sweet, because we do know.
Wait, who said that? Who was
Game
that?
of Thrones
Gwendolyn.
and Star Wars.
Oh,
and
I love her.
it is true. Like we when we first saw her on screen on Wednesday, we're like, she looks absolutely stunning. It's like nice that she felt beautiful, but it is kind of sad that she had to be like, this is the first time I felt beautiful on screen. So that was a little bit sad, because no one wants to we kind of have our own way of dealing with things like that. But I did think that was a sweet moment that she did say. And then my last thing I will talk about was, I did not finish it, but there was a little game that came out this year that kind of hit everything by storm. Elden Ring. So I think that was a big thing from 2022. That kind of.
Wait. Please explain for those of us who aren't quite as cool as you.
Well, it's a video game that came out this year, and it's not. I did quit it. I haven't picked it up in months because it's hard. There's no like easy mode. It just throws you all in. But it's a very it's hard to explain, but that was probably one of the biggest things that came out of 2022 on the gaming side of it. Because obviously I know we had all the TV shows, all that stuff that you guys all talk about, but I figured that you guys probably wouldn't talk about gaming. So
no, Katie, yeah, we love when you bring us the gaming news. I love that.
So
and you gave us some gaming pictures. Those are for 2023.
Those are for 2023.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. It's awesome. By the way, Ryan is in here, and let me see. Yes, it was one awesome WonderCon panels. I agree. And Ryan was like, incredible celebrations at Star Wars Celebration, which was very good this year. And I'm just going to go ahead and say it. There's this nice show that Ryan likes quite a bit called She-Hulk that came out.
I really enjoyed it.
Yep.
I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Agreed.
Read between the lines, guys. Thank you, Ryan. She-Hulk was great. It's our Ryan dance. It's awesome.
Ryan's work is top secret. In other news, She-Hulk's a great show.
Hey, Ben.
Blood good.
Kat, so good to see you. Thank you for coming back. Oh, Mr. Dunn is here. Hey, Cheeseman's friend from Ohio. Awesome. Wait, Cheeseman.
Big nose, smiley man with sunglasses.
Hey, Luke, you're I don't think your mic's turned on, Luke. You're on mute. Sorry.
Oh, he's called. We in Ohio we call each other swine and pigs. So he's swine, pig, you pig.
Hey, Danae, what did 2022 do for you?
You mean like things I was excited about, or like personal awesome stuff that happened?
You fill us in. It'd be cool, like stuff that you liked last year.
Lens.
Okay, well, I loved getting a new season of Stranger Things. I'm wearing the Stranger Things shirt right now. It was so good. I also loved getting the chance to do a couple of experiences with the Con Girls.
Yep.
So be sure and follow our other show, The Con Girls, which features Katie, Emily, and me. We got to do the Stranger Things experience. And if I'm not sure, is it still going in the LA area? I feel like
it's still going.
Yeah, and then there was at least one in London, I think one in New York, a few other places. And it is awesome. Totally worth every penny, in my opinion. You just you live the show. If you've been a part of Rise of the Resistance at Walt Disney World or Disneyland, this Stranger Things experience was just like the Stranger Things version of Rise of the Resistance. Like it felt like Disney level theming ride, full immersion as part of it. So please check it out. It was so much fun. In other news, I did publish.
Can I interrupt you? And you and Derek did a pretty cool Stranger Things podcast this past year as well for all the episodes.
Yep. We talked the whole season, and it was really fun. So if you want to scroll back on our podcast, I'm sure you could find it in there because anytime I'm just let my eyes peek over like it's Home Improvement. Anytime my brother and I just get to talk about stuff and go on and on, it's really fun. And
we gotta fix this. Wait, we can't see Danae at all. Let's do
on my screen I can see my eyes.
Sorry.
Now you're covering up Luke. That's great.
Yeah, Luke is the new Wilson.
Is there a banner?
Is this happy hour or podcast?
Let's do this right now.
Okay. But yeah, it was awesome. And then just on the other side things, I got to publish my 4th book last year. And I also got to do a comedy, what's the word? Festival. I know words. If they're one thing, my fantastic at talk. I got to do a festival with old buddy Ben, and we both placed in the top comics. It was the top 50 out of like 200 comics, I think.
Congratulations, guys.
I mean, it was the top 3 comics out of 1 billion, but Ben and I placed in, obviously. So yeah, check out Ben's stand-up or my stand-up, but I'll just plug Ben because that feels a little bit more polite because he's a very funny guy. And also shout out to all the con guys for coming out and seeing our shows because you guys are amazing. So yeah, 2022, it was great. I'm excited for more things. And be sure to also check the Con Girls podcast covering that Stranger Things experience, as well as the Titanic experience, which was really fun, even though I'm not a big Titanic fan. Stranger Things was just amazing.
Very cool. Let's do it. And I thank you for doing a little plug for the Con Girls. For those of you who don't know, Katie and Danae and their good friend Emily. Danae just disappeared behind the happy hour again. Anyways, they do a great
put it down in the corner again because there's blue there now.
Oh yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Yes!
That works.
Thanks, Austin.
They
You
do
joining?
Austin is joining us. We'll talk with him in just a second. But they do a great show called The Con Girls, which gives a con perspective from the female perspective, which we love. We absolutely love it. And I remember this past year, you guys did a cool. What was it? What was the three witches?
Hocus Pocus.
Hocus
Yeah.
Pocus.
I think Hocus Pocus.
I'm so sorry. Me and Luke were at a Hocus Pocus screening outside at somebody's house, and you guys were doing a Hocus Pocus podcast. I thought it was very cool.
This is the other con girl. Hi.
Emily.
I heard my name and I was like, "I'll come say hi."
And that's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, we do have somebody. I'm going to introduce him real quick. I'll let him introduce himself. Who just joined us?
What's up? There's no need to fear. The con kid is here. Sorry, I was a little late from a viewing party of the national championship.
Well,
Wait,
since
was that really a game?
It was not a game.
It was not a game at all.
Oh my
I turned it
gosh.
off at halftime.
I know. Well, since Austin's here, we'd like for him to tell us about. Con Kids, which we started last year, man.
Yeah. Basically, we do everything the con guy does, but more, for age appropriate for kids. Anything there.
Because this show is inappropriate.
Right. Mostly put your pants back on, Jim.
Usually.
I know. But Austin, you have something that you thought from 2022, which started that you thought was pretty cool, and I think this is because I think this is the same thing Katie was talking about as well.
Yeah. Do I need to mute this because I'm still 3 episodes from finishing it?
Wait, if it's what Austin, I don't think it's gonna.
If it's on Wednesday.
Wait, I don't. Are you talking about Wednesday, Austin?
No, I don't even know what you're talking about. Hold up.
Oh, okay. If anybody wants to say something else about Wednesday, by the way, just let me know so I can mute it.
No, Austin, the show Wednesday on Netflix. That's a show. Luke says that you really like that show.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
He likes more than the show.
Oh, I love more than the show. Jenna Ortega, hi. My name's Austin. I'm 20.
She's a big
ready
fan
to
of
do
the
this
same
show.
age.
Yes, sir.
all right. That's
all
cool.
right.
That's cool. Hey, Austin, you guys, do you have any plans yet for like kind of the shows you guys, the Con Kids, might be covering this year?
I can't speak too much on the frequency since I got to figure out how my schedule is going to be up at my new school.
Yep.
But I'll try to post some more stuff. It's probably going to be more like instead of doing every week, it might do more of like an end of the series kind of recap.
That's cool.
So, yeah.
They did some cool recaps of a lot of the Marvel shows this year and the Star Wars shows. So if you guys get a chance, go check it out. The Con Kids on it's on the Con Guy Network on YouTube, and it's all over the social media. And where can they? It's the Con Kid is the Instagram, right?
Yeah, right here. Basically, my at is, yeah.
And Austin's coming to us from Ohio tonight. Austin, how's the weather there?
It's cold. It's really cold.
It's his last week in Ohio, at least kind of living there right now. Since
right.
he's shifting over to college.
Derek, 2022. Wait.
Man.
Did we finish with Austin? Austin, did you tell us 2022 stuff that you liked? I'm sorry.
Oh, Peacemaker came out 2022, right?
Yes.
Oh man, I love that show. I wanted to do a show on that's so bad, but I was like, I don't think I can get away with doing this.
It's not quite Con Kids.
Yeah, not for
Not quite.
sure. But yeah, Wednesday and that were my favorite.
Awesome. Awesome.
And one of your probably favorite, almost fandom thing is you got to see Arnold Schwarzenegger in person at the Arnold Classic.
Oh, yeah. That was great.
That's cool. That is awesome. All right, Derek.
Maybe got to hang out. I can't say much, but
Mr. Sams.
Hey, thanks, Jim. So yeah, I know you all mentioned a lot of things already. My wife and I watched Wednesday all the way through and really enjoyed it. I know on our list, like the list of the top movies, you mentioned Spider-Man No Way Home, even though that technically was released in 2021. I think I saw it in 2022. I loved that a lot because that Tobey Maguire Spider-Man really spoke to me. It came out the year I graduated high school. I really related to the nerd, the nerdy Peter Parker and all the things. Yeah, so there was that. And also, like, as we mentioned earlier, I love being able to go to conventions in person again, or rather convention, because we were only able to get to one. But my wife and I went to Comic-Con for the first time, actually got hotel rooms. I say rooms plural because we had to go to one hotel for 2 days and another hotel for 2 days. But we took our 3 very young foster sons. The oldest had just turned 2, and that was crazy, but it was so much fun taking them with us. We were able to get to one panel, which was a panel that Ben was on about raising con kids.
That's awesome.
And we found out that in the actual convention center, we couldn't take the stroller with us. And since we had a 2-year-old and twin 1-year-olds, we really couldn't, go into like those panels because you couldn't really just manage without a stroller when all your stuff is in there. But we could walk the convention floor and we got to show off some amazing family cosplay. It was so fun when the last day actually dressed as Spider-Man and the 2-year-old was next to me on the bus. And we got video of Laura saying, "Who's that?" And he's like, "That's Spider-Man." So I guess now he thinks that I am Spider-Man, and I'm okay with that.
That's
well,
awesome.
I think you should point out too, like from now on, when he sees Spider-Man on stuff, and you ask like, "Who's this?" he will say, "Dada."
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, real quick, Jonathan Wilkinson. Hey, oh, and yes. Halloween Horror Nights, which we usually cover a little bit more on the Scare Guys show, was pretty fantastic, or whatever. You went with us this year. Amanda! Good to see you.
Hi, Amanda.
Good to see you, Amanda. All right. Derek, anything else?
I'll probably a million things that I'll think of when other people are talking, and I'll probably end up being really rude and get it when I get excited and interrupt. But
no worries. No worries. Ben Cleaver.
I will jump into this and speed through it since I know we're pushing time on our look back at 2022 because we want to look forward to 2023, which we're very excited about. But a few things, just getting back to conventions. As Ryan mentioned earlier, Star Wars Celebration was unbelievable. It was amazing. I had so much fun with most of the people that you see on the screen here. I also, and going back to San Diego Comic-Con for the first time since 2018 for me, because we didn't go in 2019 because we got married that year and we were like, that was too expensive, so we're not going to San Diego. We'll go in 2020. And then it didn't happen for 2 years. So getting back down to San Diego Comic-Con was just such a blast for me. And it really does. I don't want to say it feels like home. It definitely doesn't feel like home, but it feels like a place where I want to be and belong for that time. I wouldn't want to live at a permanent San Diego Comic-Con. That would be maddening. But it was so much fun and it was a blast. And then as far as if we're naming movies that we liked that came out, The Batman was life-altering. It was just fantastic. It is my favorite Batman movie since Batman Returns.
Wow.
I no shade to the Christopher Nolan trilogy.
That's setting the bar high, man.
Yeah, I mean, I really what?
Danae had a look on her face like she really did not agree.
Did you even see Lego Batman, Ben?
That's a good point.
I did, and that was very enjoyable as well. But
it was way better than Vampire Batman. Just saying.
I liked Vampire Batman, so pick up a comic book, okay? Anyway, but yeah, so those were, of course, there were a ton of other really great movies. Thor: Love and Thunder was fantastic, stuff like that. But Batman, I really, really liked Batman. It was a lot of fun. But yeah,
and we're gonna pitch it over to Luke. Hey, Luke, we're gonna at the end of the show, for those who want to stick around, we'll show some of the cool, nerdy stuff that perhaps loved ones gave us over the holidays. Because, Luke, I know you got some really cool stuff I do want to see. Or do you want to do it now? How long do you think it will?
No, we'll do it towards the end.
But, hey, Ben, I do have to say this. Luke, he's talking about his favorite, one of his favorite Batmans he's ever seen. Who did we see? Me and Luke were at this restaurant called the Tam O'Shanter on Saturday. What day was that? Friday night. Who was sitting at the Tam O'Shanter with us?
Not with us, but Robert Pattinson was there.
Mr. Batman himself. Really? Yes.
Just randomly there, wearing a hat, just like looking like anybody else. I'm like, that's Robert Pattinson. I just walked by. I was the first one to notice him, and then kept even sending the bartenders over where they like would pretend to just be, going through the restaurant, but like, okay, that was Robert Pattinson.
And Luke, can we say, or will we be breaking a confidence if we say who else has been sitting at the bar?
No, I would rather we not.
Okay, we won't say that.
We'll say that.
Let's just say the Batman goodness is good at that place. Anyways, we'll stop right there. All right, real quick, before we
go to dinner with Michael Keaton. No.
Oh, that would be so cool. So, Ben, you were mentioning that. I just want to say real quick, last year, 2022, the top 10 movies. Top Gun, Black Panther 2, Doctor Strange 2, Avatar, which is now the #1 movie of the year, but we're counting it. This is according to Box Office Mojo, the amount of money made during 2022. Jurassic World, Dominion, Minions, The Batman, Thor: Love and Thunder, Spider-Man: No Way Home, which was released the previous year but made a lot of its money in that year, and then Sonic the Hedgehog 2. All of these movies have what in common? They're basically all Comic-Con movies, which is really kind of cool, guys.
Jim, No Way Home was re-released in theaters in 2022, though, the extended cut.
Oh, is that what that is?
Oh. Mm-hmm.
So that's
but I'm saying it was also re-released.
Okay, because it was released right before Christmas, wasn't it?
Yes.
And then it earned
what was
money.
The extended cut again, just briefly?
I did not watch it, but it basically just had more footage.
Cool.
So.
That's awesome. Also, Amanda, absolutely. She says, Amanda, hey, I want to come on the show in March. She's heading to London for Star Wars Celebration 2023. We'll talk about that in just 1 second, Amanda. That's awesome. All right, Luke, real quick, what did 2022 make you? What about 2022 did you love?
I thought it was really cool. I'm going to show a couple. Jaws in 3D, the original Jaws in 3D was one of the coolest things I have ever seen. And Danae's scaring me right now. But where basically they remastered and did the whole thing in 3D. It'd be awesome if they came out of that on Blu-ray, but just seeing the shark and the orca in 3D just made me like giddy, like I saw it for the first time. And E.T. also came out in IMAX, which was pretty phenomenal. You really noticed a lot more things in the room, and it was just so cool. Like you felt like you were kind of in the movie more and kind of seeing things from that child's perspective. And then lastly, kind of collectively, we kind of mentioned this, us throwing that Power Ranger panel that did really well and having so many Power Rangers show up, so many fans, and then that special appearance like was just unbelievable by Walter Jones. I could show a clip of that if we want to see.
Yeah, real quick. That'd be awesome. I want to see this.
So I'm pulling this up right now
and Lou's putting together this video cut, which we will be releasing on the Con Guy YouTube channel.
I swear to God. How did he get younger?
Alice and Robert have been unseated as the most legendary Rangers. Ladies and gentlemen, you know him as the original Black Ranger.
Hey, now there's 10 of us like Dino Shark.
And he keeps getting younger. He's most legendary. He gets younger.
No.
Somebody told me there ain't no party like a Power Ranger party because a Power Ranger party don't stop.
Awesome. We keep changing configurations here. Who left? Oh, that was the most awesome moment, I think, for me.
To share kind of collectively with all of us, I would say. And I mean, for Ben to get to be up there and moderate that, just from all angles. I mean, you really
And I know, and Katie and you
effort.
guys were just helping to organize behind the scenes, getting everybody there, and then the pictures afterwards. That was so amazing. So real quick hey, Luke, do you have anything else before we move on?
Just that, yeah.
Okay, cool. Real quick, for me, it was cool to see Kate Bush's Running Up That Hill become the #1 song in the land because of season 4 of Stranger Things. Season 4, episode 4, last 5 minutes, best moment of television for me of the year. That was where I don't want to ruin it for those of you who haven't watched, but Max is facing down Vecna in the nightmare version of the Upside Down. It was amazing. Also, the return of Maverick. Top Gun 2 was fantastic, but even better, Iceman was back, and what a touching, awesome scene. Again, not going to ruin it for those who haven't seen it, but you guys, you got to see it. And I guess 2022 can be called the year of multiverses. Spider-Man, No Way Home. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And right before that, Loki was kind of leading us into it from 2021. We are in the multitude of madness. But guys, we are going to head into 2022 and talk about what we see coming up, the things that we're excited about. By the way, I also one of my favorite things about last year, it was also the summer. We celebrated 40th anniversary of the summer of 1982. With E.T., Poltergeist, and all those things. I actually went up and visited the exterior of the Poltergeist house this year for one of our podcasts, and I had a blast. All right, we're going to start back with Katie. Katie, what are you most looking forward to in 2023?
Well, there's a lot of movies, and I'm sure we'll all have kind of different ones. Obviously, you guys probably are not going to be surprised by my first choice of the movie that I am most excited about for 2022, which is, of course, Shazam 2. I am stoked. I cannot wait.
Yes.
This one, of course, I want to go see it, so I'm really excited about that. And then Into the Spider-Verse, not Into the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse Part 1. Really excited to see that because I loved Into the Spider-Verse, so I'm really, really excited for this one. Going off of the gaming angle, I do have some pictures that go along with what I'm saying. Spider-Man 2 game is coming out. So this is a picture from that. This trailer is on the website, so you can see it. There's no release date announced yet, but it looks like they're going to combine, Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man game, and the Miles Morales game, and
which is what you're itching for after you've played both.
I mean, if it's even half as good as the first game, it's going to be great. Derek, you played it, right?
Yeah, well, we just finished Miles Morales too.
Oh yeah, I haven't played Miles Morales yet, but yeah, I did play all of Spider-Man, and I only have one final boss battle in the New Game Plus highest difficulty. But other than that, I did everything. Another game I am even more stoked about is Hogwarts Legacy. We're not going to get into everything behind it, that's politics, but I am really excited about this game. It is, the release did get pushed. It was supposed to come out last year, but is now coming out February 10th for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and PC. But then April 4th, it will come out for PS4 and Xbox. And then in July 25th, it'll come out for the Switch. I am really excited just because you guys know I am a massive Harry Potter fan, so I'm really looking forward to this game. You can pre-order it now. And the last one, which I did not have stills for, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom comes out on May 12th. It is the sequel to Breath of the Wild, which I spent hundreds of hours playing when it, way back when. So really, really excited for that. There is a trailer for that up online. They did announce the date, the new title, and the trailer at the most recent Nintendo Direct in September, I think it was, as they showed that, announced that. So really excited for some games that are coming out this year. So
that's awesome. That is awesome.
I'm with you on those, Katie, but I was not up to date on the latest news about it. Like, we were finishing Miles Morales, and we're like, man, it would be great to be able to do 2 players because, they wrote it in such a way that you're really just playing as Peter Parker in the first one.
Yeah.
And really
I don't think they've announced that yet, but I think everybody is hoping it is 2-player, but I'm not getting my hopes up because I think that's what we all want, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen. I mean, we'll see.
It does take a whole other level with designing and building a game, in the story and the programming and everything to make it 2 players. But I'm so glad you mentioned the Legend of Zelda too, because I'm not quite finished with Breath of the Wild, and so Spider-Man is the best game I've played on PlayStation, and Breath of the Wild is is the best game that I've played on Switch or maybe any
That's
Nintendo
fair.
platform. It's just like both of them, the design, the gameplay, the story, so much about it is just amazing. So I'm with you on those.
Hey, Austin, what about 2023 for you? Is there anything in particular that you are looking forward to for this next year?
Oh yeah, for sure. I got some weird ones.
All right, weird's good.
Yeah, I really want to see Wonka.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What's his face?
Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah. No, I saw him in Dune. I was like, man, I want to see. It looks good.
What
is
Wonka?
Wait, what?
What is Wonka?
Is it a prequel to Willy Wonka?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, that looks really interesting. I mean, something that hasn't been done. Another one I'm looking forward to, kind of going with Timothy Chalamet, is Dune 2. Which I think is slated for this year.
Yep, it's coming out this year.
November. Yeah, a lot of people don't like the first one, which I don't understand. I like it a lot. So
Florence Pugh and Austin Butler, Christopher Walken are all coming into this one.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the third one is Oppenheimer with Christopher Nolan directing it. I really want to see that. But yeah, those are my
Oppenheimer, which is like that's the invention of the bomb, right?
Yeah, the atomic bomb.
That's cool.
Christopher Nolan.
Yep.
You can't go wrong with Christopher Nolan. I tell you what, that's awesome.
Made the best Batman movies of recent. Controversial statement on this show.
We'll have to have a fight. We'll have to have a fight.
It's okay to be wrong, Luke.
Anything else, Austin?
I mean, those are my three most anticipated. Obviously, I'm looking forward to almost everything coming out, but those three especially.
All right. Let's throw it over to Derek.
Yeah, it's taking a second to get unmuted. Yeah, so much of what I'm looking forward to has already been covered because I was going to mention Dune. I'm excited that we're getting more of Shazam and Aquaman. I'll be interested in seeing those. I'm interested to see what happens with the Flash. I know like there were like it was on and then off, and then they like changed things when they have different announcements. And I actually love the Flash as a superhero. I think it'd be really interesting. And I'm really interested in seeing like what happens with the DC film universe now. Like I did happen to meet Pete Safran a couple of times when I was just in passing, like when I was working like when I was working there at the studio, just on like a little odd job. Happened to have a random conversation with him. I had no idea who he was until after I'd been talking to him for a little bit, and then I was like, "Oh, and what do you do here?" And then he told me. I was like, "Oh."
Well, can you explain to us what he does?
He is, Peter Safran is the producer of Shazam and Aquaman and the whole Conjuring universe. And now he and James Gunn are basically the guys in charge of the DC Extended Universe for film. And yeah, just like I only had a couple of conversations with him, just happened to bump into him, but I just remember him being like really friendly and really down to earth. And he wasn't like, some arrogant, oh, I'm a very important producer. He was just like this random Joe Schmo, me. He was just having a conversation and wasn't at all offended that I had no idea who he was when I was talking to him. But yeah, so like because of that, I am excited for when people that I've met that are really nice people, from what I can tell, get a huge opportunity like that. And when he's produced some really good movies already. I'll be interested to see where that goes. So I'm excited for that future. Also, I'm excited about this new Indiana Jones. I have not watched the trailer yet. And the trailer will either get me more excited or get me really concerned. But, I do love Indiana Jones.
It's really big, Derek. Don't worry about it.
Okay, maybe I won't even bother with the trailer. You know what? With Rogue One, I didn't see any of the trailers. I just saw the movie without anything and loved it.
Sometimes it's better that way.
Maybe I'll do that with this. But I'm excited to have some more Indiana Jones again. Since we have only had 3 Indiana Jones films, I will be glad to have another one.
3. Only 3.
Who wants to go next? Who wants to go? Oh, sorry.
Did somebody volunteer? Go ahead and go. Whoever. Okay. I just heard a lot of noise.
Ben did.
Go, Ben.
Oh, well, okay. So for 2023, I'm looking forward to a lot of the things that I usually look forward to in a new year. Next month, February, Gallifrey 1 convention. I will be attending that.
Is this the first time back since the pandemic?
No, they had one last year, but we didn't go last year just because it was still kind of iffy. But Jodie Whittaker, the 13th Doctor, who just ended her run as the Doctor, is going to be there. They've been getting big names the last few times that they've had it. I was going to say the last few years, but they didn't have it for like 2 years. And so, of course, definitely looking forward to that. As far as conventions go, that WonderCon and going back to San Diego Comic-Con again, like I was saying previously, always stoked to be at San Diego Comic-Con, but WonderCon is probably my favorite convention. Obviously, you guys know, and many of our listeners probably know, I met my wife at WonderCon. I didn't know she was going to be my wife, but that's where I met her, or we met, I should say. As far as like entertainment, like movies, I'm excited for a new trailer for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania dropped like an hour ago.
Yeah.
Oh, did it?
As of the taping of this show. So that and that blew my mind. Always love and always anticipate and look forward to new Marvel movies. Scream 6, Shazam, of course. John Wick 4 is coming out this year. Super stoked for that. Dungeons and Dragons movie. Apparently there's some kind of Super Mario Brothers movie. And then Renfield is that looks really fun. Guardians 3, Fast and Furious 10, Little Mermaid live action, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which of course the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse blew my mind, blew everybody's mind, blew up everybody's pocketbooks because people went and saw it a lot. Let's see. Indiana Jones, we've mentioned. The Marvels, Haunted Mansion, Dune Part 2, we've mentioned, and Aquaman. I really like the first Aquaman movie, so I'm looking forward to this one. TV shows, Picard Season 3, definitely. Absolutely stoked for that. They're bringing back a bunch of the cast from the Next Generation, which I'm excited for. Mandalorian Season 3, Ahsoka, Agatha, Covenant of Chaos, Loki Season 2, Secret Invasion, which I'm stoked for.
That's the one I'm most excited about.
That one's gonna be crazy. Star Wars Skeleton Crew with Jude Law, gonna be really cool, I assume, but we don't really know much about it right now. We just know it's called Star Wars Skeleton Crew and it's got Jude Law. Yeah, so that's just a quick rundown of some of the stuff I'm looking forward to, and then just seeing what the year brings. There's going to be all kinds of crazy stuff that happens this year because all kinds of crazy stuff happens every year, and so I'm waiting with bated breath to see what 2023 brings, and hopefully it's not pandemic level devastation as it has been in the last few years. Hopefully it's good things and fun things and joyful things. But yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
That's fantastic. Danae?
Well, you guys have covered all the movies I think I'm excited about. Like we've said a billion times, Shazam and Spider-Verse. Okay, well, it'll be your turn in a second, Luke.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's more, but my brain is still on like Christmas break right now. I am really excited for 3 shows this year. One being the final season of Ted Lasso. The rumor mill is it'll be coming out in March of this year. I'm also really excited for this Disney Plus Percy Jackson series, which hopefully the Con Kids will cover. It's an amazing book series. And this time around, the creator, Rick Riordan, has had a lot of say in it. They've kept a lot of secrets about the casting. We know a few people. I feel really confident that it's going to be awesome. I also kind of want to rip the Band-Aid off with this Netflix Narnia that we're supposed to get maybe by the end of 2023. With Netflix stuff, it's really a toss-up. It can be really, really good, or it might not be.
That's a fair statement.
Yeah. And Narnia was my very first fandom. We watched the BBC Narnias on VHS when I was very small. I think Derek was probably watching them before I was even born because they came out before I was born.
Oh yeah.
And I don't want some new take on Narnia. I just want somebody to actually finish Narnia. I want someone to start with The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe and get all the way to the last battle and actually adapt all of it and not just like give up.
And one take actually finish, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just
same with Percy Jackson too.
Yep.
Yeah, same exactly. Thank you, Katie. It's just another scenario of like a book that was picked up, not adapted well, or in Narnia's case, probably adapted pretty well, and it just somebody dropped the ball on it and it didn't get done. I'm kind of over this whole we're gonna take a brand new spin on this beloved series. I'm like, no, I want to see the same thing again, but with slightly better tech on it. But finish it this time.
Danae, can I break in?
What?
I just want to let the listeners and the viewers know that they're behind the scenes here at the Con Guy. There is a battle raging in the private chats. It's between Austin and everybody else, basically.
Hey,
how many Indiana Jones movies do we recognize, Austin?
I don't know. I don't like any of them, but
what?
I mean,
get out!
You got like one
Get
that's
out.
good. You got the third one. All the other ones are like.
Okay, you're not wrong. The third one is great.
Okay,
but-
Austin, you're fired. You cannot be a part of the Con Guys anymore.
No, Austin,
Don't
what's
like
the argument
any
we're
of
having? What's the argument?
So it looks like everybody's failing to recognize the latest one that came out. I mean, I don't really know.
Danae, Ben,
Listen, the reality of the situation is they made a fourth Indiana Jones movie many years after The Last Crusade. But we collectively, as the fan base, refused to acknowledge it because it was just not great. Just wasn't good. Did not hold up to the standard that Lucasfilm and Lucas and Spielberg and Kennedy established in the 1980s. And so when Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was announced and they were saying we're going to do all these things and it's in the 50s now because obviously Harrison Ford's older and we're dealing with, you know, like the communists and the USSR and all this. And then it was like
That much I would have been fine with.
They were like, yeah, that was cool. But then it was like man-eating ants and like weird stuff. And aliens.
I think that's why they're bringing time travel into this one.
Yeah, they're doing time travel in this one, which I'm a little bit cooler with, because the thing with the original Indiana Jones movies, there was always this spiritual aspect. There was a spiritual aspect with the Temple of Doom, which is technically the first chronologically in the film series. There was a kind of a heathen spiritual aspect. There was a Judaic spiritual aspect in Raiders of the Lost Ark, and there was a Christo spiritual aspect in Last Crusade. And then they were just like, and now aliens, like aliens, extraterrestrials. We're gonna do that. It just, the whole thing was off, and they poured a bunch of money into it. And then Shia LaBeouf was there, and then they were like teasing that he was gonna be the next Indiana Jones. And
yeah, that was weird.
People loved it.
No, people did not love it, Luke.
All right. We're going to throw it to Luke, but Ben, I do have to ask you real quick. Is there anything this year coming up for Doctor Who?
We've got a new doctor.
Yeah.
We've got a new doctor. It will be, we're going back to a man. We had a female doctor. Now we're going back to a man, but he will be the first Doctor Who of color. He is a black man.
Still not ginger.
And beg pardon?
Still not ginger.
He's still not ginger. It's true. He's still not ginger. Although technically in Jodie Whittaker's second season, there was a different version, like a parallel universe version of the Doctor that showed up that was a black woman. So technically,
cool.
That's like an alternate timeline thing. But
we also have the Dr. Donna, but that's different.
There's the Dr. Donna.
Isn't the 60th coming out this year, or is that next year?
That's this year.
That's this year.
Yeah, the 60th anniversary special.
Yeah, and they there have been all kinds of leaks of photos from set. They've got people coming back. Very exciting. To my shame, I have not. I've only watched 2 of Jodie Whittaker's seasons. I just didn't get around to watching the third. I have, a lot of people have different opinions on whether they like the writing or Jodie Whittaker and all that kind of stuff. I just didn't get around to watching her 3rd season because a pandemic happened, and I just started watching The Next Generation over and over again.
So
and that's
David Tennant's coming back, right?
David Tennant is coming
David
back.
Tennant and Catherine Tate return. I think we might need to just talk Doctor Who one episode.
We'll do a Doctor Who episode. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a little bit kind of involved. Katie, I'm sorry.
I know something, but like I haven't watched it in a while, but I do know who she regenerated into. So, but I don't know if anybody else.
Well, they've actually released that.
Yeah. No, I know, but not everybody has seen it, so I wasn't sure if
I haven't seen it, but I know.
Derek and Ben did a great article for us. Let me see if I can go back and dig it up. About if you've never watched Doctor Who, here's these episodes to watch to kind of catch you up to speed. We might need to update that and get it up to speed, but that's a really great primer. All right, we got to kind of hurry here. Cheeseman, 2023. What are you excited for?
Just a quick kind of recap and other movies that may not have been mentioned. I'm very excited for Ant-Man and Wasp: Quantumania. I always enjoy watching the Ant-Man movies, especially if I'm just kind of like stressed out or working. It's a great movie to put on the background. So I really enjoy the Ant-Man movies. Guardian 3 is coming out, so super excited for that. Those movies also are just very kind of fun and just done really well, especially with James Gunn doing it. John Wick 4 is going to be fun. Our friend me and Austin's cousin Jeremy is a big John Wick fan, so looking forward to seeing that with my cousin sometime, and Austin, of course. And then this movie looks really fair. Watch the trailer; it is so bizarre, but looks hilarious.
It looks so ridiculous.
The trailer is nuts.
It's
absolutely
ridiculous.
nuts.
Based on actual events, folks.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited.
Cocaine Bear.
And then just from kind of a collectibles angle, being at Comic-Con this year, I saw some releases that were coming out early this year. I like collecting some of the ET stuff. So they have Elliot ET on the bike that's coming out fairly soon. I supposedly was supposed to have come out already, but I haven't really seen much of it. I think a lot of it's, pre-sale, but
a lot of stuff has been getting delayed still due to shipping issues.
Yeah. And then also I like collecting some of the Universal Monster stuff. So they got the Bela Lugosi Dracula coming out, which is pretty cool. And then the Creature is coming out, the official NECA one, and there'll be multiple heads and hands for that one too. So
oh my God.
Excited for what NECA's coming out with. I try not to I am over collecting, but I try to kind of be very specific on what I like, and NECA does a lot of stuff I very specifically like, especially with what they did with ET this past year.
All right, we're coming up towards the end of our show. Luke's going to end it with us to show some of the collectibles that he was able to collect over the holidays. But real quick, this is what I want to ask everybody: if you have any predictions for this coming year, 2023, any predictions? I do have a prediction, and I wrote mine down. Oh my gosh,
At the bottom.
Yeah, okay. Down the bottom. Here's my main prediction is this. And this is almost like a sacrilege to say, because I'm the world's biggest Marvel fan. I think we're at perhaps this next year is Marvel overload. We're going to have like 5 Marvel series, 3 Marvel movies. There's going to be Marvel every time we turn around. And people consider, a lot of people, not everybody, a lot of people consider this past year a little bit of a rocky road for Marvel. It didn't hit the heights of what they were used to. After a somewhat rocky year by some people, 2023 is looking quite marvelous for Marvel. Ant-Man and the Wasp is coming out. Kang, it's going to introduce us to Kang as the villain, which is very, very cool. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is coming out. I got to tell you right now, the trailer doesn't tell me a lot, but it does tell me that my heart is going to be ripped out. The way they're describing it, this is the final ride of this group of Guardians. That's an easy way to say that death is coming to the Guardians, and that just sucks. Agatha, Covenant of Chaos, Ben mentioned. Where else we got? Echo the new series coming out about the very first deaf superhero in the Marvel comics. Ironheart is coming out. The second season, Agatha, I'm reading this right. Loki is coming out. Secret Wars is coming out. The movie The Marvels is coming out. There's a lot. I'm looking forward to every one of these things. I just hope.
Yeah, it sounds like a good mix. I mean,
it does, but I just hope to. I just hope they're not over
content.
I'm looking out my window right now. We've had so much rain that the water is up to my ankles or knees on the golf course. I feel like we might be hitting that with Marvel, the oversaturation, but I don't know. So that's my
ready to eat your words, Jim. At the
and
end.
my second prediction is this: Lucasfilm is at Star Wars Celebration or Comic-Con is going to announce their next big theatrical film. So I
put
think
money on it. Put money on that.
Yes.
Go to Vegas and put money on that. They
I feel
absolutely
like
will.
maybe Ryan would go in on that, you know.
All right. Who else has a prediction?
I have one.
Go ahead.
You guys have all heard, I'm sure, about Netflix being like, we're going to do paid advertisements, or we're going to kick back on password sharing. I think that's going to really make them take a bigger hit. I don't anticipate it going well.
Wait. What'd you password sharing for what?
So Netflix has been like, we want to cut back on password sharing.
Yep.
So we're going to make you pay if someone else is using your account. Like if you want 2 different households, you have to pay this, And they keep saying they're going to do it. And if they do, because they're like, we had this massive loss of subscriptions in 2021 and 2022. And I'm like, it has nothing to do with your content though, right? Like it has
you
nothing
can't
to do
watch
with
on vacation, or will they somehow know?
What they have said is that they're going to charge people if you're watching it in more than one, basically password sharing.
Yeah.
And so sorry if y'all hear stuff in the background. That is the rain. But yeah, I don't think it's going to go well for them, because not only are they canceling a lot of TV shows and making poor choices with some of their TV shows, it's already causing people to leave Netflix. But if you're going to make them pay more money to share their accounts when no other streaming service does that, I think it's going to come back to bite them. Mm-hmm. That's just my hope.
Can I weigh in one thing though? A lot of the numbers that we heard about Netflix, it's not that people just like stopped signing up. When the invasion of Ukraine happened, like Netflix stopped giving service to Russia essentially. So there were like a whole bunch of accounts that were lost then. Granted, they didn't add as many new subscribers as they had wanted to, like a few times at some point recently, but it wasn't just that you had lots and lots of people just dropping Netflix.
I know that was an underreported story. They cut off 200,000 memberships in Russia when that happened, and it was reported as, they lost all these members. No, they cut it off. They cut off a country.
But I do think that if you charge people for account sharing, it is going to significantly hurt them.
Yep, I agree. All right, who else? Predictions. Let's go. Austin, what predictions do you have?
Yeah, so I don't know if it's going to be like this next year, but since James Gunn is leaving MCU, I think that DC is going to be better than MCU in like 2-3 years, because just everything James Gunn has touched has been amazing. You know, Peacemaker, Suicide Squad, to all the Gardens movies, they're amazing. So I think, he's going to really transform everything.
We hope so. We wish the best.
Ben,
if I can piggyback off that, I don't know how confident I am in this, but I don't think I'd be surprised if we get some kind of an announcement of a new actor playing Superman or possibly Batman. I don't know about the rest of the Justice League, but I might consider putting money down saying that we'll get a new Superman announcement this year, but I don't know.
And I think it'll be at San Diego Comic-Con, and James Gunn is going to be the new Kevin Feige of DC. And you watch. I agree with Austin. I think this is finally going to give Marvel a run for its money. James Gunn is an example, guys, of when you get in trouble online and you get canceled, of how to respond to that. He handled it. I mean, he posted some very questionable stuff 10 years ago, whenever it was, and he got fired. But he didn't come out guns a-blazing and yelling at people. No, he was quiet. He apologized, and he worked his way back into the good graces of the studio folks. And now we're getting Guardians 3, and he's now leading DC. If you ever want to know how to handle a bad situation online, look at how he handled it. Don't do what he did, to start with. Those are dirty jokes. But but anyways, Austin, that's a good. Anything else, Austin? As we come up against the end of our time here.
Not really. Just like I was saying, kind of in the chat. Can't wait for Jenna Ortega. Hopefully, I think Wednesday season 2 will also be up there in the top 5.
It was announced. They finally announced Wednesday season 2. Wednesday was the 3rd highest viewed TV series on Netflix in its history.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Behind only Squid Game is number 2. And we all know what number 1 is. It's season 4 of Stranger Things. All right.
It does seem like every new show that comes out is breaking their records. Do you know what I mean?
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Ben, what are your predictions?
My predictions?
Yeah.
Oh, I just told you the Batman Superman announcement.
Oh, that's right.
That's my prediction.
Perfect. Derek, do you have one?
I don't know. I agree with a lot of stuff you guys said. I've got to weigh in though with Superman. I'm really bummed about the fact that you had this tease on Henry Cavill's Instagram about like him putting the suit on again, and then it was like basically just a few days later they announced that, oh nope, sorry, that's not actually happening.
And he isn't doing The Witcher at the same time. Like,
yeah, and now I forget what it was that he said he's doing now. There's like another
Warhammer.
Warhammer.
Yes, that's it. I was gonna say video game, but no, Warhammer is like another level of nerdiness that I'm.
And he's gonna make sure he does that right because he does not want those fans mad at him.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, he will.
Really
and he loves it so much. So.
Yeah.
Danae, any for you?
I think like Katie was mentioning with Netflix, I feel like we're going to see something similar to Amazon. I think big companies, just like everybody else, are struggling right now because we're in some economic troubles. I think Amazon made the mistake of dropping $1 billion on a really bad idea. Derek knows what I'm talking about.
I liked the show. What show are you talking about?
Rings of Power.
I think it was great.
I think it's kind of biting them in the butt now. Like they've raised Amazon Prime membership prices. We're not getting 2-day delivery as frequently as we used to. I think they're spiraling a little bit at Amazon, the way just a lot of people are all over the place right now. So I'm hoping that things start turning around in 2023 because we're still struggling from the big C. But you know what? I think we can trust in Jesus and everything's going to be okay.
All right. Cheese Man, I'm going to turn it over to you in just a second. Let me give my predictions, and then we're going to turn over to Cheese for his predictions. Wait. We're going to let everybody say goodbye because we're going to end on some pictures and stuff that you guys can check out if you want. All right. My predictions. Luke, let's hear your predictions first, Luke, and then I'll finish. Sorry, I'm all over the place.
My prediction is we're going to have some interesting show topics for this coming year.
Yeah.
Austin wants to do a show on Was Thanos Right?
I know. Was Thanos right?
Kind of controversial opinions.
And Austin just told me he wants to do a show on Jenna Ortega.
Oh, I would love to do that.
We'll get her on as a guest.
Oh, please do. Please do.
And we're going to be doing some stuff with Power Rangers coming up. So my predictions are we're going to have some interesting shows. So stay tuned. Some anniversaries.
We cannot make any official. Guys, we cannot make any official announcements yet, but I can make the official announcement that we have been asked to present a certain panel at WonderCon and possibly Comic-Con. And if you look at last year's panels, you can probably get a guess.
What could it be?
But let's just put it this way. The Power Rangers are celebrating their 30th anniversary. This is going to be a giant year. So regardless what happens,
totally unrelated to our panel.
Unrelated. We are happy for them. And we've been talking with some of them. We're going out for drinks with one or two of them this week. And we are getting them. We are so excited to be celebrating with them an awesome time. And earlier in the show, Andy did ask about one of the Power Rangers did pass this year. And I mean, this past year, which was a terrible thing. And it's one of the reasons why we felt it was not appropriate for us to do a panel at the end of the year. We didn't want to appear exploitive or like we were taking advantage of it. And we just didn't want to put the Power Rangers on display to have to answer questions they weren't ready or wanting to answer. But this next year, we do want to honor everyone who has come and everything that's coming up. So we are really excited about that. My predictions are this. I have one more. The X-Men this year, the X-Men. I just buried. There's the lead right there. I think Kevin Feige at San Diego Comic-Con is going to announce the arrival of the X-Men and the Fantastic Four into the Marvel Universe. And I think we're going to completely shift the direction that we're going because I've enjoyed the shows this year. I personally really liked She-Hulk. I think I'm not in the majority on that, but I
Austin loved it.
I
loved She-Hulk.
I did too. I thought it was great. And it was so different than what Marvel's been doing.
Before
shaking his head
on this
By the
podcast,
way,
I have not heard anyone say anything about She-Hulk.
I don't care
All right.
for it. I mean, they focus too much on, I'm gonna live my life as a normal person. I'm like, you're a Hulk. Show us Hulk things. It's like, no, we're gonna talk about my relationship problems. I'm like, this isn't
the drama of being
I don't
a
think
Hulk.
it was geared toward your age, Austin. I'm just gonna say that.
Oh yeah, no, I figured. I'll just
Single in our late 30s. How can you
As
relate?
someone who's
Austin?
in her 30s, I loved it and felt like it was very relatable.
It was also and a key point here that was actually touched on online on Twitter by one of the writers of the She-Hulk comic series, several of the She-Hulk comic series, and I agree with this point. And I said it even before I read this. She-Hulk was the closest thing that I've seen to watching a show that was a comic book. Like it was like reading.
Yeah.
It was the same kind of voice, the same kind of action, the same type of experience as actually sitting down, opening up a comic book and reading it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see what Deadpool has to say about it.
All right, guys, we are going to have to end it here. Those are our predictions for the next year, unless we have any great big HBO and Discovery are going to merge into one streaming service, and some of the other streaming services I predict are going to go away. They're going to get eaten up by some of the biggies. We'll see what happens. And there's going to be a writer's strike this year, so let's see how that affects our content coming out of the studios. I just got to say thank you to my niece who gave me this. She made me this great ceramic plate this year. Last year, she made me, the Con Guy mug, and this year she made me the Marvel plate.
Great. I love that.
I'm super excited about that. All right, before Luke
My
takes over.
niece also made me something that.
What did you make you, Luke? That's awesome.
Maybe taking over. So Austin's sister Addison made a Batman one for me.
It's
And
the
it
Marvel
My niece
versus.
made me a box that's got Grogu on it.
Oh, that's nice.
I have a prediction, Jim. I predict Jim Fry is going to get washboard abs and go as a Spartan from the movie 300 for Halloween.
Gosh.
Jim, come over and work out with me.
That's right. You and Austin need to put me through my paces. All right. All right, guys. We're going to let the group say goodbye because Luke's going to end us on some stuff. So, Derek, where can people find you?
You can occasionally find me on Twitter at ConGuysDerek, but I'm an old guy now and I don't tweet very much. But every now and then I've got opinions that I have to share.
All right, Danae, the other half of Samblings.
You can find me on Instagram at DNAYS and TikTok at Janae Sams.
Nice. Katie.
You can find me across all social media at KT_Christine. I know we briefly touched on our opinions on movies in 2022, but if you want to know more of my opinions, you can also follow me on Letterboxd, where I do all my reviews on there. I don't know if Ryan's still watching, but I know he's a big fan of that as well. But that has a more in-depth, like sometimes too much. Sometimes I say too much in my reviews, but I always try to give a star rating and say a few words about what I thought about all the movies that I'm watching. So, and it's the same thing, Katie Christine. And we are going to be doing a Con Girl show. Don't know when, but we are planning on doing one where we rank the best and worst TV couples and like
Nice.
why. So stay tuned for that. Follow the Con Girl Instagram for information about when we do that show.
If Scully and Mulder are not number one, I quit. That's just all I'm going to say. All right. Austin.
You can find me at the Con Kids, and we'll be coming out with content before too long.
Awesome. Con Kids, Con Girls are going to be out real soon. And Ben, you'll end this portion of our show, and then we'll turn it over to Cheese.
All right, everybody. Again, I'm old buddy Ben Cleaver. You can find me on, excuse me, got a turd in my throat. You can find me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and I have a Hive account. Hive was a thing for like 2 minutes about 2 months ago when Twitter was imploding. I haven't done anything on Hive, so I don't know if people are still using that. But it is a female-owned business, so, you know, go support. I'm going to be, again, New Year's resolution to be posting on all those more this year. Plus, I'm trying to reboot my my acting thing after the pandemic, so it's always good to be on social. That is at BENKLIEWER. You can also search the hashtag BK421. Remember, everyone, the reason I'm drinking out of this red cup is because whenever Ben Cleaver shows up, it's always a party.
I love this.
Around to look at Luke's Christmas presents.
Woo-hoo! I love you guys. I love that we're back for 2023. We're going to be hitting all of the conventions, guys. Remember, WonderCon March 24th through 26th in Anaheim, MegaCon Orlando March 30th through April 2nd, Gallifrey 1 February 17th through the 19th, and StrangerCon is coming to Los Angeles March 18th. We'll be covering all those things. All right, guys, we'll see you later. If you want to stick around, Cheeseman, you have some stuff to show us. Bye, guys.
And you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Cheese on Couch, Cheeseman here, and I'm going to show you my Hallmark Christmas haul.
I'm looking forward to it.
My Christmas tree. We got the new Black Panther ornament here. It's a pretty big figure, and it's pretty cool. They're doing the Black Panther sign there, and also my friend Anthony got me another one made by Disney, a Black Panther there holding a snowball, and then there's one of Spider-Man holding a snowball, and then there's one of Thanos and some of the other Avengers, and these little snow globe type things that Disney made. Here we have Dustin from Stranger Things. This is a newer one I got. And over here we have Mario, the raccoon flying Mario, which I think is pretty awesome. I was a big fan of Mario 3. This is more Super Mario, so it has a little more of that style versus the Nintendo version. And then here I got the Game of Thrones, plays music. And it's the actual throne from the TV series. So there's a little preview of the sound. Here I got Neo from The Matrix. This one came out this year, pretty cool. And one of my favorites here is the E.T. ornament, which the chest lights up. And plays multiple clips from the movie. And also one of my favorites here is the Disney ornament, which does a fireworks show. So I'm gonna pull back just a tad so you can see the light show that it's doing. But this is a pretty good long number. Pretty cool. And then over here, got the new Sonic ornament from the Sonic 2 movie, written by one of our good friends, Josh Miller, who's a friend of the show. And then up here we have National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. They did an ornament years ago that actually played the music, and I think some of the wheels spun. This one's a little more fixed, but goes good here with the Christmas Vacation house.
Okay, thank you,
And here's my smaller Christmas Classics tree. And on this one, I got Gizmo to add to the tree this year. Now over here on the Tiki Bar is my Disney tree, and one of the newer ones I got, which actually was one they did before, was the Haunted Mansion. This one's really cool, makes some sound.
When hinges creak in doorless chambers, and strange and frightening
You can see it lights up and does some different things, and the audio plays for a bit. And this is another one I got, which is the Pirates of the Caribbean. It's one of the pirates passed out with the pigs. And over here is the Star Wars tree. And Hallmark did a really cool thing this year where they had 6 different figurines that interact with each other. So there's a plug with multiple connectors that connects them all together, and they do sound bites and do a good bit of the movie. So there you're seeing Obi-Wan Kenobi. Over here we got Chewie and Han. We got C-3PO and R2-D2, Luke Skywalker.
We got Princess Leia. And, of course, Darth Vader. And lastly, we got Grogu and the Mandalorian. He took his mask off, and this is the moment from the Mandalorian when they reunited. So, Star Wars really did a good job this year with Hallmark. Some of these were on sale after Christmas. You got 50 to 75% off. Darth Vader was the last one I saw available online, so it's always good to check after Christmas to see about these. They were not cheap.
Thanks for listening to The Con Guy Show, the official program of theconguy.com. Find us on the Weeby Geeks Collective or anywhere you listen to podcasts. And now on sci-fi.radio, Saturdays at 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific, both AM and PM. That's 9 o'clock Greenwich. It's sci-fi for your Wi-Fi.